Jay.
I'm Elle.
And I'm Shay.
And we are Apartment 24. Guys, we're so excited to be back with you. We're excited to get some more content out there for you. I know we've been on hiatus. It's been a while since we've recorded. But the reason for that is
technical difficulties.
The reason for that is technical difficulties and just dealing with work and having to deal with everyday life, essentially. So all that kind of got in the way of us recording. But we're back. We're going to be more consistent with you guys. I hope you guys have still been visiting our page because we still have had some daily questions for you all, for you guys to comment and for us to interact with you guys. But thank you for hanging in there with us, and we hope that you continue and you stay with us and you remain strong.
All right, so, Jay, what you been up to this whole time?
Little this, little that. I've been chilling. I've been doing a lot of reading, just doing things that I normally wouldn't have the time to do. I started getting into doing my nails, like acrylic tips. I'm still waiting for everything to come. Oh, shopping. I've been doing a lot of online shopping, as I'm sure most people have. So, I've just been, spending time doing all the things that I enjoy doing. I am still a teacher, so I still have to work during the day. But that's just Monday through Friday, 8 to 3. Get that knocked out. Then I come get everything else done. Like whatever it is I want to do, I just do it. And I finally got my sleeping back kind of to normal. So I'm proud of that.
Okay. So, I'm still working as well as a teacher. Our, same school hours. But after that, I've been kind of trying to do everything that I put off doing. So binging shows that I've been meaning to watch for years. Doing, crafts and stuff like that. Little things to try and keep me busy and stay sane at the same time. What about you, Shay?
I'm taking it one day at a time. I've been bored. I will say that I've been bored. Another thing that I'm having a problem with doing is trying to get my sleeping pattern back to the way it was. At this point, I feel like I kind of need like therapy when it comes to online shopping. It's like I need
Don't we all?
One of those jackets. And it's like, I want so much stuff because I'm bored, basically.
Right.
Other than that, I've been doing some other side projects. Like I've been trying to further some of my skills or gaining some skills, I should say. And, catching up on some shows. That's pretty much it.
All right, we'll talk about more gaining skills and honing skills later on to, see
Now's the time to do that.
Yeah. I know. We up in here trying to do big things in quarantine, trying to show something for it at the end.
Right.
I think everybody's trying to do that. But if you're not trying to do that, that's probably because you have kids or other things to worry about, and that's not a major priority for you. Right. It is okay to just sit there and raise your kid and deal with kids because, that's
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So basically that being that we're on quarantine, I'm pretty sure everybody knows why we're on quarantine, right? So COVID-19.
Coronavirus.
What is that?
Coronavirus.
What is this virus that's going on about?
Well, it's like a flu, right?
Mm-hmm. The symptoms mimic a common cold. Well, essentially is a common cold type of virus. But from what I've heard, it is a virus that is normally found in animals. It's typically not found in humans. So being that it's now a human virus, it's attacking humans a lot more severely than it would animals. So that's what I know about it. What I heard.
Science teacher, guys. Teacher.
And animal science.
And animal science. Yes. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Darrell. You're right.
I know.
Don't let the people forget.
Some of the symptoms are, fever, cough, sneezing, pretty much common cold symptoms and flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, flu-like.
Also, there are people who have lost their sense of smell and taste.
And
And that
taste.
is also a symptom. And that happened to me like a few weeks ago. Like I couldn't,
Everybody thinking they got it.
but I didn't think that was a symptom. I was just like, wow, that's kind of weird because I didn't have a stuffy nose or anything. I just couldn't taste. I mean, I'm still eating, but
Of course.
Every morning
it
I
just wasn't as enjoyable.
Every morning I wake up, I go.
You have about a 2-second moment of panic, and you're
Right. I didn't think they got it at one point. In the beginning, I was like, "Oh my god, I feel so hot. And do I have a fever? Let me
oh my
check."
god, me too. Let me check my temperature. Oh my god.
That bitch said 97 point something. I said,
Exactly.
okay.
You ain't got no
Once
fever.
once you look up your symptoms on Google, you're dead. So
Right.
That's so true. That is so true.
All right. So when did you guys start taking it seriously?
For me, I would say it got serious. Like I felt the seriousness when I was at school and we were told that we were going to be off for a week. Now, they don't, this is New York. Like they do not care to close their schools.
Nothing.
It could be 10 feet of snow. They'll be like, you can still make it. Like they do not close school. So once we were told school was going to be off, that was the first time for a week. I was like, oh my God. And I remember talking to a few of the other teachers, and one of my friends, she was like, what if we're out for longer? What if it's longer than a week? I'm like, girl, it ain't going to be longer than no week. And she was like, what if it's longer than 2 weeks, 3 weeks? We could be out till spring break. And I said, come on now. So I was still like not all the way serious, but I definitely was like, okay, there is something serious because we're not going to be in school.
And
so they're taking those measures to separate people.
Right. Mind you work at a Catholic school, so you were out a week before public schools.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's interesting.
Why aren't we out too?
So
it's interesante.
So
Duolingo.
All right, go ahead.
So I figured that it was getting kind of serious when we was walking. Like, you know how when I get off the train and I do my daily call with you, Darrell?
Mm-hmm.
And being that I work by Columbia University, like I'm not being any, stereotypical or anything. Like I saw, Oriental, they all had the mask on. So I'm like, why are they all wearing the mask or whatever? And at this point, I didn't know anything about the virus. I didn't know anything about it, but I just see them with the face mask. I'm like, oh, okay, they probably just want to be extra safe. That's what I was thinking.
So maybe was it like a week or two before school started closing?
This was like the month, like the beginning of the month.
Like
I saw people walking around with the masks and the gloves. And mind you, Jay, yeah, at work, you're there before me. So when I'm coming in, there's kids going into class. The kids going to Columbia University, and I see the mask. I see the gloves. I saw like a face protection before, and I'm like, oh, I said, oh, she must be really sick. That I'm thinking that they're sick,
right?
And we assume just because people were wearing protective equipment that they must have been sick, but that's not the case.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Well, it took a little longer for me to really take it seriously. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Because I was just like, okay, they closed schools, but Catholic schools were already closed. So I figured they just did that to kind of save face. It's like, oh, Catholic schools are closed. All these other schools are closing down. Public school might as well close too. I really didn't see any true sign of it being this close to home. So I really wasn't taking it seriously. I was still, talking about it, washing my hands, of course, telling my students about it, but I really wasn't that worried about it. Not until maybe like a week or so after we stopped going to school. I was like, okay, when I started seeing businesses close down, essential things like stores and restaurants and bars, everything closed. I said, oh my God,
Everything.
Really serious. When I walked down Flatbush Avenue, the biggest street ever in Brooklyn, and 90% of everything was closed, I was like, this is crazy. The Chinese restaurant.
There was no one out. There was no one around.
Right. No one was out. No one was walking around. No cars going down the street, which is usually a packed road at rush hour. There was maybe like a bus and maybe 2 or 3 cars. That's it. The only thing that was open was the supermarket and one corner store. I was like, okay, now this is serious. That's when it really hit me, when everything started closing down.
Okay, so at this point, you're convinced that the virus is happening or whatever. Okay, what you got it. What precautions did you take?
So precautions for me, I was washing my hands. I started wearing a mask or face covering. I started wearing gloves. And I was still going out more than I should. Mm-hmm. But that's because I felt like I was going to be so claustrophobic and so, get cabin fever so much from being home all the time, just like that immediate switch. And I didn't want that to happen. Because, we go to work every single day. We're out every single day. We don't get home until late. And just to literally turn a switch and stay home all the time, I felt like I would have gone crazy. Right. So I was going to the store for any little thing I can think of at the time, almost every day. I was like, oh, I forgot to buy this at the supermarket. Let me go back. I forgot to do this. Let me do it. And then, that was really a week and a half, 2 weeks, until I was like, okay, let me stop going out so much. And at that point, I think I stayed home for 1 whole week and didn't go anywhere. So I was like, okay, it's getting better. So in the beginning, I was kind of torn. I liked the time off, but I also had a lot of things to keep me busy with work and, laundry and going to the store for food and all that. So it wasn't as bad. Now I've kind of gotten used to the swing of it. So I feel a lot better mentally about staying in a lockdown and, just kind of being able to stay home more often. I'm getting used to it now, so it's not as bad. Jay, what about you?
What's the question?
What kind of precautions have you taken since it started?
Oh, thank you. The precautions that I've taken is I've just been washing my hands constantly, right?
My hands are so dry, and I love my lotion. My hands are so dry all the time.
What are we doing today? Yeah, so even now my hands are dry because I just dried out just because I washed them before I started this video because I applied makeup. So, wash my hands. I now make sure I have my face mask because it was hard for me to constantly remember face mask. So I was going out without it. But now, I need to care about my health and then other people's health, and it's also mandated. So I have to wear a face mask now. And I stay home.
I stay home.
I was going to say wear gloves, but I don't wear gloves. I don't want to tell that lie.
Okay, so
thank you for
what have I done?
You're welcome.
I sometimes wear gloves. One reason why is because when you wear gloves, all you're doing is spreading.
I do. I put hand sanitizer on my gloves before I touch anything.
Oh, that's good.
That's one.
I also be mindful and not touch everything like I used to. And say, oh, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Oh, I want this one in the back. Instead of doing that, I'm looking, and then touching.
And then making your choice. So you're more selective about touching.
Right.
That's good.
So.
Oh, I make sure I stay away from people too. I'm sorry. That's
it. I don't wear gloves because I feel like when you wear gloves, you help spreading it also, because a lot of people, they don't take their gloves off periodically during the day. if they are outside. That's two. I try to keep inside clean also, because when you go in and out, you're bringing that back inside. Always try to keep the doorknobs, the refrigerator door, stuff like that, clean throughout the house or whatnot. What else? That's pretty much it. My main precautions was to clean the house first before anything.
That's great.
Then two, face masks. I'm having a big problem with face masks because you know how when you forget your keys, you be like, okay, wallet, dot. I will dart the door without my face mask because I'm not used to it.
Right.
Now I have to do it. It's the law.
It's mandated.
I keep my face mask, my gloves, my hand sanitizer, and Lysol wipes in my bag. As they try to now, I keep all that in my jacket pocket.
Oh yeah, me too. I keep my face mask in my pocket too.
I keep it all in there. So if I want to go to the store, I just throw my jacket on. Everything's in there. I don't take it out of my jacket. And then I have a couple face masks that I switch. So if I go out in one face mask one day, then I'll switch it for the other one the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Or whenever I go out, not necessarily the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to keep all that in my pocket so I don't forget it.
Okay.
All right,
guys. What's another one? Okay. How are your family members during this pandemic?
No, they're doing okay. I know for the older generations and for people who are more susceptible to it, they're like paranoid on 10 all the time, watching the news every day, grandma,
mommy.
And, just feeding you, getting fed information all day, all the time about it. For me, I stopped.
And it can make you go crazy.
Right. Like,
loco.
We were saying the other day, now they said it can be transmitted you can get it if you smoke, if you drink.
Right.
People are like, oh my God, right.
Now the new one is, if you have balls, you're susceptible to get it. So if you're a man, you got coronavirus.
They said men are more susceptible to getting it than women. I was like,
how about if you got melanin, you more susceptible to getting it? Because it's taking out black people more than any other race.
Oh, now because you black, now you got to die.
I was like, I can't. We already the first to die in the movies. Come on now.
Right.
So I'm
now you know what black people saying. Oh, the government put this out to kill us.
Well, we don't know that for sure. We can't really say that.
I don't think that,
but you see how the paranoia gets started.
Yes.
And then there are people, watching the news constantly, nonstop, all day, every day.
And that's all they have in their heads.
Right. And I was like, I can't. I stopped watching it a couple weeks ago. I watch it every now and again to stay abreast on, what's going on. And even like with work, you have this information given to you every single day. You don't know what's true. You don't know what's false. You don't know if they have it right or not. And it's like, if you're not giving me anything new, anything tangible, then why are you telling me?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so that's like my mom. She keeps shouting out the number of people that are dying every day. She's they done got a fireman again, Shannon. They got it a cat. They done found it in a cat now. They done got it in a tiger, and it's like
just feeding you every piece of information.
Right. And
it's too much.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Now.
In the beginning, it was helpful because they was like, now you need to wear a face covering in public. Now you can't go to the store without it. Now stores are only letting in 10 people at a time, and you got to be 6 feet apart. I was like, okay, that was vital information that I need to know every day.
Now that I know that, I'm good. Right. You don't need to be told.
Don't call me unless you care for this or something.
Say that again?
That's it. Don't call me unless you got a cure for this or a vaccine or something.
Right.
Otherwise, now you just giving me information that's going to make me paranoid.
Right.
Right.
So I feel like some people are doing better than others.
Mm-hmm.
And,
oh, yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh, what? By people being affected?
Yeah, because I mean,
you
we're
guys-
okay.
Do you guys know anybody that's been affected by it so far?
Oh, I thought we meant financially.
Oh,
We can talk about that too.
I thought you were talking about the COVID.
Well, it's because of COVID. Well, okay, I'll just say what I was going to say.
Okay, go ahead.
People, sorry, people like what? We still have jobs. We still get paid. But there are probably more than 20 million people at this point that have filed for unemployment. Like, that's an insane number. Yeah, I was just thinking about how people are affected by this financially, because like we're okay financially, but there are people who have lost their jobs who cannot work. If you're not an essential worker, you're not working. So I believe there's about maybe 20 million or more people that are filing for unemployment. So they're going without food, toiletries perhaps. There's probably women going without pads. Like, it's bad. There's probably kids starving. Luckily we got those stimulus checks for $1,200, but if this continues for months and months and months on end, $1,200 ain't gonna get you but so far. So like, I'm hoping we are able to get more money each month, but
you said stimulus checks. There's some people that didn't even get their stimulus checks because their bank accounts are overdrawn.
Oh,
right.
But even if you even if you had an overdrawn account, you're supposed to get an extra amount of money to cover that overdrawn account, because that's what happened with me.
Oh,
really?
Let's put my business out there, but yeah, my account was overdrawn by $200, so they added $200 on top of the $1,200 that I was given. But you got to pay that back.
Right.
yeah.
So it's not like
I know. $1,200 isn't a lot of money for someone raising a whole family.
No, exactly. Like a family of 4, $1,200 could be gone in 2 days. 1 even.
Especially if you still have to pay rent, you still have to pay light, gas, electricity, all that, and you have to buy food on top of it.
And first of all, what about people who still have to pay student loans? Private loans have not stopped. You still have to pay every single month.
That comes out.
They are still expecting a payment, right? I still got jacked for my money
every month. I'm like,
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. We in a pandemic, right? What'd you say, Darrell?
I said, you know how much that is, right? It's not like they taking out, for me anyway,
$20.
Right? They like, it's $600, $700, $800. I'm like,
that's a whole rent check.
Right. That's crazy. And what am I supposed to do?
Right.
Because if I stop it, then
it's just gonna add up, right?
Later. So
it's
I just thank God that I still have a job, that I'm still getting a paycheck, that I'm considered an essential worker, even though we didn't have a spring break.
Oh, right, DOE didn't get a spring break. Exactly. Luckily, I had a spring break, but yeah, I know DOE didn't.
They took away our spring break. They took away our religious holidays before spring break. That was a part of our spring break. So I know Jewish didn't get, I don't know what holiday it is right before. But Catholics didn't get, the Good Friday. Jewish people didn't get the holiday on Thursday. I don't know what holiday that is, but they didn't get it for the public school system anyway. You can still have chosen to take that day off if you wanted to. So I was like, okay, we're still working hard every day out here as teachers, and it's even harder that we're doing it from home, and we're still trying to get in contact with all of our students, making sure they're okay physically and mentally,
right?
And still doing
and emotionally,
yeah, right. Still doing the work and being taught something during this time, so that by the time September comes around, they're not so far behind.
Right. Do you think we'll be back in September? I don't think so.
I don't know. We were talking about that literally the other day. And everything's still up in the air. Everything is still day by day. I thought that we might be back in September, but it all depends on how this thing is going.
Right.
And then on top of that, when you think about it, if everyone or most people are not fully cured or unaffected by this, or not contagious, then we can go back. But if one person in one school has it, then that whole school is susceptible to getting it. Takes one.
Exactly. Takes
and
one person.
We're in a classroom full with like 30 kids in a small classroom, less than 3 inches apart from each other.
Right.
If one person in one class has it, then that whole school is going to get it, or very likely to get it. Especially with me and other cluster teachers, where I see the entire school.
Right.
Every child in that school I see, I'm going to be one of the first people to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anybody that's been affected by COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother had a neighbor who contracted it and died from it.
Yeah.
And we just got the update about his passing, I think like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We knew him since we were
all our lives.
Kids, like what? 6?
Oh yeah, like 7.
7 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my gosh, you don't really feel the impact until it hits close to home.
Mm-hmm. And these are people that you see daily, every day.
Right.
Just gone.
And just
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Gone in the blink of an eye.
Right. Do you know anyone affected?
I've spoken to people in which they said that their family members were affected. I'm not sure how they've been doing, but
I mean, I'm sure it's hard all the way around, because I've been hearing things like, oh, they can't have a funeral for the person, they can't see the body.
They're not supposed to. Yeah.
It's happened. We don't know what's going on with these bodies in the first place after they pass away.
Right.
So, and that's a whole nother thing on if the body is contagious or not after death.
Yeah.
But it's just like horrible. All you want to do is be close to your loved ones, to mourn the person that you lost, and you can't even do that.
Exactly. You can't even give them the proper respect that you typically would.
I want to say something, but that's it. It ain't. I'm gonna say it.
Gotta say it.
I don't mean it in the a wrong way. Okay. I'm just gonna say it. Jewish people are doing it. They're celebrating people within their religion. Why can't other people do it?
Because they're Jewish. I mean, we all know Jews get away with. I'm sorry. Okay.
Right.
This might sound bad, but we know Jewish people do certain things. They get away with it. When other races, i.e., Black people, do certain things, they would not get away with it. Like,
that's true.
That is a known fact.
But listen, I was out there in Crown Heights the other day, just driving by or whatever, and there's a whole bunch of them outside, standing next to each other, not even 6 feet apart. And the cops, they're just standing there, they're not even doing anything. But had it been a bunch of
Black people, it would have been an issue.
Store talking about how your kids been and stuff like that. Not even
you already know.
Not even nothing of the negative, just how your kids been, how's your family. And I don't think that's right.
It's not right. And first of all, you have a group of 10 Black people. They stalking us, they watching us, waiting to see what we gonna do. You have 100 Jews all together crowding around. They're not even looking at them. Like, that is just the fact of life.
Right, that's true. So, how long do you think we're going to remain in this quarantine?
I think it will be another 5-6 months. Okay, let me not say in quarantine. I'll say quarantine maybe 3 more months. I'm hoping it ends by the summer, but I don't think it will, one. But I think we're going to continue social distancing a little longer than that. Like, we might be able to still go outside, but we still have to remain 6 feet apart. Or, we can't have too many people in a store at a time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I still think we'll be taking those measures. But yeah, I think it's going to go on for a while. Because I think death numbers aren't dropping.
Right. I think that they're going to open the city little by little. Like what I mean, like little by little, like little by little. First thing they might open up first are hair salons and barbershops.
I don't think so.
Or pharmacies or beauty supply stores, stuff like that, little owned businesses, besides opening restaurants. Because restaurants and stuff like that, being as a virus, you're more prone to get sick, being that it's the food industry, because that's a direct contact. It's going right directly into your body.
Right.
So I think smaller businesses, it's going to open up slowly, like you know, like that's why I said hair salons and barbers will open quicker before restaurants.
That does make sense. And plus, on top of that, you can only fit a certain amount of people in a space like that.
Right.
It wasn't made to fit a whole bunch of people like a restaurant or a concert venue, something like that.
Right.
So I see where you're saying the smaller places will be open more because they can control how many people are in that space at a certain time.
And then too, what I suggest is before they open these little stores open, get a health inspector or some type of inspector over there to inspect everything out before the opening. Done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Make sure that the store is up to date on everything or whatever the case may be. And then
Right.
And that's also another thing. If they're going to open up, that means you have to be cleaning regularly, disinfecting regularly.
But they can't monitor that.
Right.
Like, how is that monitored?
So
right.
that becomes the problem in whether they decide to open up or not. Because you can lie and say, how?
The city can monitor it. Start setting out more inspections than what it is now. They can set up more inspections for these little businesses or big businesses to you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. But how do you know someone sprayed Lysol everything before they opened up?
I'm not saying like sprayed Lysol, but they should have daily, monthly check-ins. Don't tell them what day. Don't tell them what day you coming or whatever. It should be a surprise because you should be cleaning.
True, regularly.
So right. You don't need to know when I'm coming.
That's true.
Right.
But I feel like they should still be, wiping down everything, Lysol, disinfecting almost at least every other day.
Retraining employees to be more mindful of hygiene and stuff like that.
Right.
And giving out that personal protective equipment to their staff.
Right. Well, I think bars and nail salons will open, but I don't think people will frequent them because we all know those chop shop nail salons are breeding houses for bacteria and viruses, essentially. So, I don't think anybody would want to go if they open up. But I definitely think they'll try to open up schools.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's also a concern, like you said, like they would have to provide constant, cleaning supplies, face masks, gloves, Lysol, wipes, all that. And I don't know about y'all, but I know in my school, I might get 1 or 2 boxes of Clorox wipes, and then I won't get none for a while. So it's like they would have to be up on that with every single class, every single room in the building. And I doubt they'll be able to, right, in every school, right?
Right. So I feel like if bars and restaurants and stuff like that open up, there definitely will be people who would want to go back and start frequenting those establishments because they've been in quarantine this whole time. Just like in Atlanta, what was it? The governor was ready to open everything back up, and the mayor was like, hold on, you're kind of crazy for trying to do this when our numbers are rising. Right. But you still see people making that appointment, going to that establishment because they say, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
The problem isn't being stuck at home, because to be honest with you, I'm a homebody. I can stay at home and
we all are
and not leave and not have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
My problem is
the
that
boredom.
you're telling me that I have to stay home now.
Yes.
That's my problem. I have to stay home.
We're like by nature.
Right. Being that I have to stay home, now I want to go out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, Amazon just lifted their non-essential, items. You can finally order things, but it's still taking forever to get here. If I was able to order more stuff on Amazon and it would come, 2-3 days like it normally would, I would be fine. If I was able to order Grubhub from any restaurant that I wanted to, I would be fine. But not all restaurants are open. That's the problem. Right. Amazon is taking a month to ship things. That's the problem.
So
I'm up there having dreams about restaurants, okay?
So you would say that this is affecting your lifestyle, basically.
Definitely. Even though Absolutely. I don't go out much, I still have the option to order or to go out if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. Now, you want to go out? Girl, let's go. No issues. I will have no issues going out ever again after this.
Listen, if we go into the store, I'll be happy. Okay.
You want to go where? Up the block, girl? Let's go.
Let me get my sneakers.
Okay.
I know. I really miss going out. Just like going out for drinks, going out to eat, because that's typically the only type of going out I do.
And also with that, not being worried about contracting it when you're out.
Right, because that's going to be an issue once everything opens up.
I feel like that's
people going to be looking like this, like they don't want to touch nothing, they don't want to touch nobody. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a different vibe.
Right. Even now when I go out, I don't feel like I can just go out and peruse the grocery store and take my time and
I need to hurry up and go home.
Get out, wash down, decontaminate myself, do all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Just to go to the store, just to get some fresh air. It's not the same even when I'm able to go out. I still have to be worried. Mm-hmm. So that part sucks too.
Like I said, I don't like the fact that I'm being told that I have to stay home. That's my problem.
That's true. So how are we keeping up with like family and friends?
What we doing now?
Okay.
And until I spend time on the phone.
Yeah, just call people, contact people,
text.
And every once in a while,
and social media still.
Right, we do have some family and friends come over. You limit the number of people. We're all
make sure you're spaced out, right?
We're all outside, on the roof, spaced out. Try to be 6 feet apart. Hey, girl, Mm-hmm. Exactly. So that does help a little bit, but still, it's not the same. It's just like being next to someone all the time without that constant fear.
Right. I agree.
So, how do you guys think people with kids are holding up?
If I'm going crazy a little bit, I know they going crazy a lot. And I hear it all the time from, feedback from my parents at my school. Mm-hmm. The work that we are giving them is nothing compared to what they were getting at school. They're getting almost, not the bare minimum, but their workload is cut almost in half. And they're still having a hard time keeping up with it. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, I hear a lot of parents complaining about their kids being defiant. They don't want to do the work. Mm-hmm. They don't have the same drive as they do when they're in school. Right. You set those rules for school, what you can and cannot do.
They're at home comfortable.
Right. And you can't transfer that to the home. It's a different feeling. They're home. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can just look at something real quick.
Right. Home is where you play. It's not where you do work. So it's crazy.
How do you think the learning process is going for both teachers and students? Well, you guys are both teachers. Mm-hmm. So how is this remote control teaching going for you guys also?
Well, for me, it's different because I'm a PE teacher, so I can't teach hands-on skills through a computer. Mm-hmm. So I've been focusing on Right. Well, I've been focusing on keeping up physical activity, trying to keep up, cardio, some strength training, just being physically fit. Also keeping up good nutrition, because, during the beginning of this, we were all like, yeah, eat. And no exercise. Now we're like, okay, we're going to be in this for a few more months. It's time to change. So I started doing, more fitness and nutrition things that they can do at home and things that they should be doing every day. Just, write down what you're eating, just so you can keep track of how much you eat during the day. But now I'm trying to focus on more mental health, since we're going to be doing this longer. And it's only so much exercise I can teach them here during this time, since I can't physically be there with them and they don't have the equipment to do it anyway. So I'm working on more mental health stuff. What do you do every day to be happy? That's what I'm working on now.
Jay?
That's great, Darrell.
Thank you.
So for me, it's, at first I thought it was like, okay, I'll just write whatever assignments I want, send it in, they do it, they send it back. So I thought it was kind of going to be easy, but what I'm finding difficult is I give them the assignment. Most of them have been doing it. There are still some that haven't. And then there are some that are doing it, but doing the bare minimum. Like, not even writing full sentences when answering a question. Giving me 2 sentences when I ask for a paragraph. And so I have to tell students, revise your work, give me more information on this, put more details here, write in full sentences, and I give them the chance to revise. So it's getting harder for me, because I'm giving them that chance to revise. So I'm going through their work one time. Then when they do revise, if they revise, I got to go through their work again. And because I teach, the whole school, it's all right, can y'all just do the work right the first time? And that's it.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much my struggle right now.
I found that in the beginning, my expectations of what they should be doing and what is acceptable is getting lower and lower and lower.
Oh, same. Now I'm just you know what?
Just give me something, please.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Which is just off topics. By there being no standardized tests and, ways for you guys to evaluate the kids on if they're ready to go to the next level, how will you guys be able to do that if you guys don't have any tests? And to be honest with you, any work that you guys are putting out, come on, let's be real. We were kids. If it was online work, we was cheating. We was looking up those answers. So how can you evaluate the student if there's no standardized tests?
Well, one thing that they're trying to do is have you do assessments on Google Classrooms. Google Classroom. So you post, whatever questions you have. Let's say you get 5 questions. And then you say, okay, you let your class know I'm giving this quiz, let's call it a quiz, at 10 o'clock a.m. So you make sure you post it at 10 o'clock a.m. You set a time frame, okay, 20 minutes, and then I would say whatever responses you have at that point, you collect that, but then you stop the assignment or delete the assignment maybe. At least that's how I figure it in my head. I haven't done that. But I know another way that they're trying to do is trying to do it through Zoom, where they have teachers on with students, and then you give questions, and then they can send in their answers that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just a way to evaluate and to assess, but it's not really a standardized test that you can do. Because even if you try to send in, let's say you give them 10 questions, you add the document to Google Classroom. Okay, you have a day to do it. Most likely they're gonna look up those answers. It's not like they're just gonna sit there and just write out the answers just based off what they know. I doubt they'll do that.
Right. So I know for my school right now, and most public schools, I believe, we're not doing any assessment type at all. At least for my school. Yeah.
So how are you determining?
so far what we think may happen is that everyone is just going to get passed to the next grade.
That's what I think too.
In other states, I've heard that they are doing the same thing, that they're going to pass everybody no matter what, because we can't give standardized tests in this, in this time right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't even thinking about doing schoolwork because they're thinking about the family member that just died, or their parent has to go to work every single day, or their parent isn't working and they don't have money for food. So
and they can't eat, right?
For some people, school is the last thing on their mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to say, fuck it.
Right.
Everybody, just go to the next grade. At first, we were hearing that we were going to have to do this whole school year over again and everybody would be in the same grade. I was like,
what?
That's the rumor that was going around.
I'm shocked. Like, why would you ever think that's okay?
Right. Just
to
like
leave everybody in the same grade?
Yeah. Redo the whole grade. No, we not.
You know how many parents would be in the uproar?
Right.
Okay.
That was something that was being heard throughout, different schools. I was like, I don't know. But they don't. The Department of Education doesn't know. We're still taking this day by day. We don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on.
Right.
We don't know if we're going to be open in September or not anyway. So we're just trying to keep the learning going no matter what. That's it.
Okay. So here's a fun question. For all those favorite kids of you guys, I'm not sure. When I say favorite, you know what I mean. Those favorite kids that give you so much love during your class. How do you think they're holding up with their parents?
They're giving their parents hell, to be honest.
Now
those kids, right? I say, I complain to you about your child's behavior. I'm not my baby.
I'm not my baby.
that can't be my child. You know those parents that will do that don't believe you at all.
Not my baby.
Like, and certain kids I haven't gotten a lick of work from, so it's like, I know you running your parents crazy, driving them wild. I know you are.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yep.
Good. So you could see what we had to deal with all year.
Every single day during the year.
Okay. And your kids, they never absent.
Ever. You can count on them to be there.
See, that's the funny part. It's
after
always,
school too.
It's always those really, really lovely
favorite
kids that stay all day and they never miss a day.
They got perfect attendance.
Perfect attendance. Never miss a day. They got the perfect attendance award. It's like, gosh.
Right.
Okay. Hi, welcome back to Apartment 24. We have invited the twins' younger sister, Troy.
Hey guys, it's nice to be joining you.
Thanks for joining, Troy.
No problem.
We have invited her to get an insight on Generation X, their experience. Huh? I'm sorry, Generation Z. I'm sorry, I said X. Thinking of Powerpuff Girls.
Right.
But their insight on how things are going in quarantine. So Troy, tell us something.
So first of all, I'm so excited to be a part of this. I've always wanted to do it.
We're so glad to have you.
Okay. So being Gen Z, it's really difficult right now because, we're all in school. So I'm still, doing my schoolwork, and it's kind of hard because it's like no guidance really. It's just like thrown in there, just like, okay, just do your assignments. And also, I can't work right now. So I work in a school, and clearly school's closed. So I'm out of work and trying to find something, which is like really difficult, trying to work when it's a time when you're not supposed to work. And then definitely, I would say financially, it's really hard because Gen Z, we go from like teenagers to young adults. And so we don't get those stimulus checks. you know, and as someone who currently right now is like in between places and trying to figure stuff out, like that 1,200 could have done a lot for me, but I don't get that,
Right.
you know. And it's just like, well, what am I gonna do? It's like, do I risk getting a job and getting sick? Because it's like I have no other choice. Like I can't just wait on the government to give me money because it's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
So do you feel like your generation should be getting a stimulus check, even
Definitely.
like
I feel like,
we're living at home or dependent?
yeah, I feel like if any of us who work, if you've had any, even if it's part-time, full-time, if you're working while you're still in school, you deserve to have a check. You know, I'm contributing
That's
to
true.
society. I get taxes taken out of my paycheck. So why don't I get, you know, my stimulus check? I'm not just like, you know, doing nothing with my life.
Hmm.
So I guess
If you had the check, what would you use it for?
I would definitely use at least like half of it towards like tuition, towards school, because that's like a lot of my biggest bills. And then maybe the other half to like just save and like try to, you know, because I'm trying to find a place to live. So, you know, definitely put that towards that.
Of course, of course.
so. Now that people your age who were working are out of work, and even if they have the opportunity to live at home, they're still considered a burden on their family because they can't have an income right now. So do you feel like it would be important to have some type of assistance from the government, especially since it's really hard at this point to file for unemployment for being a part-time worker?
Yeah. So ever since it started, I've been trying to file for unemployment, and it's hard because it's like I don't get the same benefits as someone who is working full time, and then it's like family too. They also think that you are a burden, you know. And I was like, when I mean, our family, our
Right.
family, that was definitely something that came up a lot. Was like, well, you know, you're not contributing money. Where's money? Money, 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 money. And it's like,
Yeah, money is a big
shit,
factor in our family.
you know, like, do I need to start my OnlyFans? Like, damn, it's like
Have
that.
you considered, like, you know, kind of not really legal methods of gaining money?
In what way do you mean?
As my sisters, you should not be asking me that question. Let me stop.
Well, I'm not your sister right now. I'm
That's
your,
true.
what's the word?
Commentator.
Commentator? Questioner?
Questioner.
Interviewer.
Interviewer. Thank you.
No, I definitely, like, I haven't really thought about, I think I'm not ready to go down that route yet. Like, I've been on Indeed looking for jobs, like, you know, in supermarkets, like anything food related that are essential, where I would be able to like have a job. Like, I'm not ready to go down that path yet,
Good.
because I think
God will
that
make
that's
a
just
way.
not who I am as a person. Like, I've never would even consider that. Like, I feel like that's a last resort, where it's like, I'm on the streets, I have nothing else to do. Like, that is the lowest I can get. And I feel like I'm not there yet.
Okay, well, that's good.
That's great. That's just good talking.
I also realized that it's gonna be even harder when it comes time for the summertime, because during the summertime, that's where a lot of part-time jobs are kind of created, like working in schools, working for summer camps, working in away camps. All that's going to be shut down for the summer.
Exactly. And so the program,
it's going to be hard for people to get jobs or contribute to anything.
You know, and the program that I work for, they do have summer program. They do have a summer camp, and it's like, well, you know, is it going to be open by the time this is over? And how many kids would come and do it? Like, you know, my job right now, they are doing Zoom classes. Like, and I've done one, so like I am technically not unemployed, but I'm not doing enough to make a living, to like survive.
Right.
You know, like $70 a week, maybe. Like, that's nothing.
That's nothing. Yeah.
On Instagram.
I mean, but you don't have bills, right? So that's kind of.
That is, well, I mean, I have my tuition.
A blessing.
So
okay, yes. Tuition.
That's definitely a big bill that will need to be paid. And,
on
Instagram,
I was reading, I saw that they're coming up with a way to give kids that's like from the age of 16 to 22 or 21 a check of $2,000 each month. It has to be approved. And also in addition to $1,000 to that the stimulus check, but it has to get approved. So $3,000, you think that should be enough for everybody to live? Well, like I said, it has to get approved first. I was looking at, because that's more money, but
Yeah.
I feel like people should also realize that this money is not
Free.
something free.
It's gonna be a cost for it.
It's gonna be a cost for it later. So use that money wisely, because once they ask for that money back,
we gonna be like,
right?
Oh my God!
Right.
They're gonna say,
no.
When you get your money, do what you need to do with your money. If you have something left over, then hey, that's your business.
But I definitely think that we just need to support each other a lot during this time and just like try to get through it. And, we'll definitely worry about that later, but it's just so many people just going through so much, like have it worse than so many other people. And I think that's true. Like, because, even though I might have it bad right now, there's always someone who has it worse than me, and so like that's definitely trying to keep the positive mindset and, just try to do what I need to do to get through it.
So on that positive note, what skills or hobbies has everyone been trying to do now that we have kind of this time that we have to stay inside?
Well, we all should be working out, right?
Yes, but are we?
We are not. I am not.
No.
I have not.
No, but I do some exercising. I do lift the fork.
Your mouth. You know what? I do walk to the fridge, and I go downstairs to walk to the fridge.
Okay, up and down them stairs.
Make it to the ground. But I did do yoga once.
Oh,
since we started. What?
That's good for you.
That's good.
It was like a pretty yoga session, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah. And you got to get your exercise in, because exercising does increase your endorphins. It might help your mood. So if you're feeling a little down in the dumps, get your jog on or something, because then you'll feel uplifted.
Yeah, girls, we're gonna go for a jog together. Definitely. Soon.
You know what? I'd rather ride my bike.
Yes.
I'd rather ride a bike too.
I'd rather ride a bike. If I'm thinking of trying to work out and have fun at the same time, I'd rather ride a bike.
You know what would be fun too? Just dancing. Like you put on some good old twerking music, right?
Old-fashioned dance party.
Okay.
Yes, that's perfect. Do a little just dance, or dance.
Just put your back into it.
Like that.
Badu.
You could take it way back. You could do some Michael Jackson, the Thriller dancing.
Oh, the Wii, right?
If you have the Wii.
Or you can like watch the old video and learn the whole dance if you want to.
Right.
Right.
That's true.
And you can do it with your loved ones, with your family.
Right. So that's always a good thing. That's what I tell my students to do too. If for that exercise, they can like learn a dance that they've been wanting to learn online.
You know what else is good too? That's kind of good for the exercise I see that the kids like and stuff. TikTok.
The Renegade.
That.
All them little challenges.
Right.
It's all
Yo, we should do one for Apartment 24.
That. What else are we doing? I know.
Troy, I love you.
Like, do whatever keeps you happy during this time.
Right.
All right. But I will say this: you do burn calories in your sleep, so that is.
That's a great note.
That is a great exercise to do to sleep.
And I'm sure we've all been getting sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else have we been doing?
I also started making face masks.
Hey.
Oh, show us some.
Plug.
Ooh, that is very nice.
That's gorgeous.
That is.
You know,
Definitely.
you can pair it well with a nice light blue dress, or perhaps a pink one.
It's the
With a
spring
pretty
season.
Nice.
Right. It's
Fashion
for the season.
2020. Hitting the
Okay.
runway.
Quarantine fashion 2020.
All right. Spring collection.
Durrell Designs. Well, for my hobbies, I have been working on doing my nails, doing the acrylic nails. So far, I've only done one set, but I'm waiting for my drill, like I said earlier. Once I get that drill and everybody else gets their products, we're all going to practice together. So not only am I building my hobby, but you guys are building your hobby as well. And we're doing it together.
That's when we'll do our spa day, right?
Yes. I've been practicing
Okay.
braids. I've been practicing braids. Like I'm really good at like box braids. I'm getting good at like the Senegalese twist. I'm in the process of learning how to add hair to a braid. I would show you guys pictures, but my mannequin.
I was gonna say, show us something.
My mannequin, her head isn't done right now. She looks crazy. But
Ooh.
I can definitely post some pictures on Apartment 24 if you guys want to see what I've been doing. And also Janelle got me into doing nails, so I'm doing the polygel version of nails, not acrylic. She's doing acrylic.
Nice. And polygel, it looks to me like it's easier.
Yes, that's what I like.
Now you have to like.
I'm sorry. What happened, you guys? I was checking on Janelle's rice.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
All right.
Honestly, I haven't had any hobbies since this has started. I've like worked on
Not
my
even
journal.
reading? Well, you read
No,
anyway.
I read every
Duolingo.
Yeah.
We've all been doing Duolingo.
We've all been doing Duolingo.
Trying to be fluent in another language.
Exactly. So the twins are doing Spanish, and I'm doing German.
I want to do French next too. Yeah.
I want to do Italian next.
I want to finish German first.
I'm about to say we might be on our languages for a while though.
Yeah, I'm about to. I want to finish German, and I'm also taking a Spanish class in college already. So that's another added thing that I'm working on. So yeah.
All right.
Okay, guys.
But not least, our burning question.
Wait.
We still got one more question.
I wanted to ask you guys, I wanted to know what's one thing that you guys learned about yourself in quarantine. What's one thing that you can honestly say that you learned about yourself?
I have learned
so far.
Okay. I have learned that I really enjoy being home and being able to do things that I want to do. Like I don't feel constrained being at home. I like being at home. Although, obviously I do want to go for the occasional drink every now and then. But I like being in the house. I like being in my bed. I like watching my shows. And it's like, it's not boring to me, But I'm also learning, like, I like to spend time with people as well. So not only am I a homebody, but I do enjoy social time as well.
I feel like exactly the same way. I do enjoy being home and finally doing the things that I wanted to do but never had the time to do.
Right.
But then
so it's like you're discovering yourself almost.
Right. I also like to be social at some point in time as well. So
right. Can I say one more thing? I also realized, sorry, I'll be quick. I've also realized that I feel like I miss learning in a way, because when you're teaching and you have to teach certain concepts, you want to make sure you're teaching it in the most effective manner. You want to make sure you have, all the materials that you need. I just, in a way, I miss making my mind sharp, because like I'm just doing, whatever in a sense. So I'm not really stimulating myself. So I miss that stimulation.
You have to find the stimulation. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're not, like, oh, I have to do this, so I have to learn that. You have to figure out things that you want to learn to stimulate yourself.
Right.
I learned about myself with stimulation. Sorry. I learned about myself during quarantine. I'm finding out how to do things myself. Like instead of buying or getting it done, I'm starting to realize you can do things by yourself, because if something like this happens again, are we gonna still sit around and wait for the nail salon to be open? Are we gonna to go get our eyebrows waxed? Are we gonna sit around and go for our hair to get washed? No.
Or we're going to do it ourselves.
Right. We have to learn how to do things ourselves. And another thing, as you were saying, you feel like your mind isn't being stimulated, Jay, you are kind of stimulating your mind, because you said you're learning how to do nails, right? You're learning how to do other stuff that you want to do.
Yeah.
So you're challenging yourself. So challenge yourself throughout the skills that you're learning.
Oh, thank you, Shay. That's very true.
It may not feel so.
You know what? I'm gonna learn how to do encapsulated nails, not just regular nails.
There you go.
Right? So right.
It may not feel like you're learning, but like
right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
You really enjoy it. It doesn't feel like work.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the issue is, I think, because I enjoy it too much. You don't feel like I'm doing it.
It doesn't feel like you're doing anything, but you can be doing something the whole day, but you actually like it, so it doesn't feel like work. All right, and Troy, do you have anything to add?
Well, I feel like, for me, my quarantine has been, two different complete opposites, as I've been in two different places. And I feel like when it first started, it was just like, but I've enjoyed being here with you guys, and I've learned how to cook and do things and be more independent during this time, and also just spending time with you guys too. I feel like it's been really great, when we have our little movie nights or whatever. And so I think it's really brought us closer together as sisters. And our relationship has changed from what it used to be for a better way.
Yes, I agree.
So I feel like that's also really cool, because I felt like before the quarantine, I didn't really have. I mean, during the first part of it, I didn't have anyone my age or even around my age or similar interests to hang out with or to talk about stuff with. And so just being with someone who's around my age group, it's nice. It feels more kind of like a party than it does. Sad and depressing, so that makes things way better. And I've also learned about myself is that I can stay calm during crazy situations. I've definitely learned that. I see so many people going crazy and just but I've just learned how to stay calm and not let fear overtake me.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's the most thing you gotta do. You gotta stay positive.
Yeah, I have enjoyed our binge-a-thons, our nightly binge-a-thon sister time moments. That has been.
I know. It's been nice because I think it's also showing us I don't know. I think from our childhood we went from very at each other's throats and just and things have just changed so drastically, and where we genuinely enjoy each other's company and have no problem hanging out with each other for 4 hours watching TV.
That's true. It has been a good time watching our little shows and stuff and talking about
Definitely.
It's having a sleepover almost.
It is. In the same house. Mm-hmm. And I'll see you in the morning.
So, all right. So, lastly, our burning question.
Ooh, what do we have now?
So, when grooming yourself, such as, haircuts, getting your nails done, your hair done, getting your beard shaped up, eyebrows done,
chin wax.
Right.
For those of you that got them problems.
Other wax.
The whole nine.
Right. You prefer to DIY, pay to get it done, or a little bit of both? Who wants to start us off?
Well, I'll start. I feel like I'm a little bit of both. So when I'm financially able, I like to have someone do it for me. When I have the money and, I like to have someone do it for me because it does come out better and it does last longer. But I feel like it's not necessary. So if I'm, short a little bit this month, I can do it myself. I've learned to do it myself. I did my eyebrows myself and I trimmed my hair a little bit myself. These are things people can normally do, but just choose not to.
Mhm.
For me, I do a little bit of both. Mostly, I do it myself because I either don't want to spend the money or don't have the time to actually go get it done. So it's like, I'll do my eyebrows because my eyebrows come out decent. I'm not paying $7 or $8 to go get it done when I can do it and it looks fine.
Mhm.
My nails, I'll definitely go get done when I can because I'm a PE teacher, so I don't have my nails done because my nails will break in 2 seconds. And my hair, I'll usually do by myself for the most part, but if I want to get it braided, then I'll get it braided. So it depends. Mostly I'll do it by myself, but some things I do like to get done. It all depends on really how much time I have.
Mhm.
And I would say for me, I used to love just paying to get it done because, like, hassle free. You're not doing it yourself. You don't have to worry about it. You just have to pay for it. But now that we're in a quarantine and you have to do it yourself, I realize I do prefer to do it myself just because I can get the same result or even a better result. If I just work at it, I give it the time that it needs. That'll help me to have a better product for no money. All you have to do is pay for the materials that you need, and then that's it. You're set. So, you can do your own hair, you can do your own nails, wax your own eyebrows, wax your own chin. Well, not even wax, nair or veet.
Or whatever.
That's what I do. But just doing those things on your own, you save a ton of money, and you can do it as often as you like, as much as you like, however you like, and it doesn't cost anything extra.
I prefer a little of both. The reason why I prefer a little of both is because there's certain things that I don't trust myself to do yet. Like you said that you cut your hair. Oh, I couldn't do that. I need a professional to do that for me. I need somebody professional to do that for me. My toes, when I go and get my toes done, I like it in a square shape. When I do it, it doesn't look right. But I don't mind doing the pedicure part myself. The pedicure part myself, I don't mind because I like my feet to feel a certain way or whatever the case may be. But the nail polish way, I would want somebody to do that part for me. But nails, since we've been in this quarantine and like polygel is looking mighty easy, I may never pay for my nails to get done again.
You should do a video when you first
try.
And see if it's as easy as you think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? We all gonna be together because we all have to wait till everybody gets their stuff anyway.
I didn't even order mine yet.
We ain't waiting.
I'm sorry.
We said we about to get our stuff soon, right? Like next week.
Mm-hmm.
We have to wait for her
because the one I wanted to order.
But she can use it anyway. So
yeah, the one I wanted to order said they didn't have anymore. It'll be back in stock like May 1st. And then it said May 15th. I was like, God damn, I might as well not order it then. It doesn't make sense. I might as well just
Yeah.
I know.
So
that concludes my episode for today. Just remember, please stay safe, stay positive. We can get through this. Stay home.
Make sure you tell your kids to wash their hands too. That's the most important thing. No, I'm being serious. Tell the kids to wash their hands too because they may not be able to have it. They can carry it and make somebody sick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So tell the kids to wash their hands, keep their hands out their face, everything.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Until next time.
To share, leave a comment. Don't be afraid to subscribe, and join us next time, okay?
All right.
Bye. See you next time.